The Surfing Violinist presents first duck dive of the summer, Surf Vlog 41. May started off with a duck dive, the first duck dive that actually felt good. Water was warm, and the east side of City Pier was on. I spent a lot of time on the east side of City Pier in May. It would be like double or triple size anywhere else. It would be like not rideable at the park, and then it would be fun at City Pier. So a lot of days right at the beginning of May, and then we had a run of kind of little tubey days, small, mostly you could get a little tube view, but then it would close on you. So, oh man, I'm gonna need to analyze that clip. Yeah, so I got some just little pocket rides that felt like tubes at the time. Go back and look at the footage a little bit, not so much. We had this stormy morning on May 18th. Lightning kicked us out of the water, went back. Rick, the body surfer, got that little shot of me, and then I just kept pulling into waves and not quite making it out. One of my best top turns, though. And then on May 19th, thanks to John Gilmore for getting that little clip on backside top turn. Back to Spyglass on May 25th and 26th for longboarding. And then on Memorial Day, me and Tate and a couple other guys, Mike Mashburn, got to sit on the west side of the pier. Maybe my best front side tail slide turn I got on video. And then on May 28th, back to Spyglass, did a little paddle with Scotty and Roger Barnhart, and it was very tiny. Good month. So in a perfect world, this vlog would have been fully formed by now. We would have what I've envisioned, which is a surf video equivalent of Brad's poker vlog. Brad Owen has been doing these poker vlogs since, I don't know, 2015 or something. Maybe it's later, maybe it's earlier, I'm not sure. But almost from the get-go, he had this idea of how to do first-person vlog versions of showing poker hands and what he learned from them. And so he takes the poker hand, and he was meticulous about all the data. And that's the strength of his vlog. He's got a funny personality. He's a great vlogger. But what really set his channel apart was taking what his friend Andrew Neeme had been doing with his poker vlogs, and then just cramming so many of these into one vlog. You get so much information. It's like a crash course in what it would be like to sit at a poker table in Las Vegas and seeing highs and lows in rapid succession, and getting information about what was going through his head, and also all the data about what everyone else had at the table and whatever else was doing. So it's really about the data. And in surfing, I think it would be great if we could do the same thing with wave, not just showing waves, wave after wave after wave, and this kind of just music video, fast pace. Okay, well, now let's just see what happens on the next wave. Let's just see what happens on the next wave. But actually taking time to process what you're doing as a learner and how you're improving or not improving. And the great asset of Brad's poker vlogs is that you get to see him fail a lot, and he doesn't make excuses for it. And there are a lot of times, I know he's got so many messages that, man, you're a hack. Like, how can you even call yourself a poker pro? Like, how many times he's gotten messages like that where he's shown his weakness and people are like preying on him about it. And part of the problem with surfing is we tend to cut away before the fall. So many surf magazines, I grew up looking at pictures of stuff that I was idolizing. And years later, I realized that dude did not make that. Like, that was literally a flyaway air that looked cool, and it was lit well. And so you end up developing bad style and form things because you're only thinking about the moment, the shot. That's why something like, a good shots to keep in mind are like the iconic Tom Curran carve, because that actually, like, you can't fake that. So anyways, the purpose for this vlog eventually, and I'm 3 years into it. I mean, Brad, what's so incredible about Brad's poker vlog is he seemed to have this fully formed from the moment he did his first one. And it wasn't as well edited at the beginning. He did have the help of Andrew Neeme, I guess, them both embarking on this journey around the same time, so he could learn from how Andrew Manimi was doing it. And Andrews are good too, but both of them have just kind of stumbled, or it's unfair to even say stumbled, but they have curated this vlog format that is so useful for demonstrating, like, pedagogy is the wrong word, teaching. It's like for demonstrating learning in the moment. So I want to do that. That's eventually the goal. I'm over 3 years into doing this vlog on a monthly basis, and a lot of these have been caught up, done after the fact, trying to go back and look at footage. So like this is from May of this year. So this is an unfully formed version of the surf vlog, and the talking head thing, stream of consciousness, like I'm doing it this month and the next month, is not exactly where I want to go with it. I think eventually it's a little more complicated to do than poker, because Brad can just snap a shot of what his hand is and then just kind of go from there. With surfing, it has its own set of challenges with cameras in the water. I've had a lot of trouble with GoPros in the last year, and a lot of them self-inflicted problems. But it's a testament to how great Jamie O'Brien, Nathan Florence, and Ben Gravy's surf vlogs have been, that they've been able to keep track of all this stuff. Granted, especially in Jamie O'Brien and Nathan Florence's case, they've had some help. They've had editors and other filmers. That does help, but and now Gravy does as well. But still, like, keeping all this stuff, there's enough to worry about in surfing, even just with a surfboard and a leash. There's just so much going on, and then when you have to add filming to it, it adds like almost a whole production team that you have to be, and you're having to juggle a lot. So it's real credit to all that they've done for surf documentation. And I'm trying to take it in a more, I guess, pedagogical way. Like, if you don't have a filmer on the beach, what can you learn from your first person footage, or from your footage of you surfing, like from board mounted footage? And it is limiting, but I'm starting to notice things that even from first person, wow, I mean, my hand is showing up and it is not doing the right thing. So I want to get the surf vlog to that point, and we'll just kind of see how it keeps going. And in the meantime, document local surf events and culture. And when the surf's flat, skate and skim. So we'll start with skate and skim in May. So in May, before that, the Clint Deaton ramp, we chopped it down and put it to about 8 foot. That's Clint Deaton right there, the backside disaster. That's me, my first axle in, and just trying to get my skate legs back. That's Cody Smokehouse, Milton, Pensacola area. That was my second attempt at an axle in, and I almost ate it. That's Livy Skates. She actually went and skated Woodward, was in like the final edit. She was peer pressuring me to try to get the axles. I've been getting into skim practice in the mornings, trying to do spending a lot of time, other than paddling, doing the little 360 shove practice. So Aiden Gorman gave me a little tip there about how to flip your foot right. I'm still just not quite getting it, but thanks to Aiden for some of the help. But yeah, on the skating side, it's been a lot of just, I don't know, holding the line and try not to lose anything, because we've had so much surf in May and June. But I've only been back to Clint's ramp one time, and it was this time, so I'll get back over there and keep going. It is, I mean, my very first run there, I fell and hit my head. I mean, I had my helmet on, but dude, that ramp is just trying to kill me. So I got to take it slow with that and earn the right to have it my dance partner. So a lot of work to be done on skate, but skating still scares me more than anything. So this is the more full version of looking back at May. So yeah, it felt so good to be skinning it. And the east side of City in May was just a blast. It would be like ankle high at other spots. It would be like not even breaking at other spots. It would be triple the size, just waist to rib, and just there's rippable right. And then some of the days it got a bit bigger. We just had a blast. I'd bring the longboard out sometimes. That has been a really good practicing tool for me. I've just realized I got a lot to learn. I mean, like even there, you can see I just do this fist thing. I ball up my fists. In boxing, you're supposed to keep your wrists straight, and this surefire way to break your wrist is to be going around like this. And I have not been able to get this mentality out of my way of anything like surfing, skating, violin. It's just there's this clubbed fist approach to everything with a bent wrist, which is just it's bad form, and bad form translates to bad style, and bad style translates to bad flow. It all is interconnected. Like you can't have these things without the other at the top level. And I am trying to be more of a virtuoso, not just in violin, but in skating, surfing, and skimming. That was Brandon early. This morning was before the lightning struck, and I had a weird situation start to happen. I can't remember. The first time it happened, I think, was back in February, where I almost passed out in the lineup, and I paddled up to Chris Higbee, and I said, hey man, I don't even know if I can make it in. I'm like feeling dizzy, and everything feels upside down. I feel like I'm about to puke. I was like, I don't know if I'm dehydrated. I don't know if I skinned it that day, and I don't know if I have hypothermia. I don't know what's going on. And he's like, okay, I'll keep an eye on you. So I made it. I literally paddled for that wave, and y'all, like, it felt like the world was upside down. Like I felt like I was like out of body experience. So that happened in February, I believe. And then it started happening again in April to May. And during this run of swell, especially on that one stormy day, I had this like weird feeling where everything felt like dyslexic. It's just vertigo. I had straight up vertigo where I felt like I was like the waves were backwards and upside down. It's hard to explain, but it had something to do with my equilibrium. I got too much water in my ear, and anyways, if you start feeling that, do let me know. I'm curious if anybody else is going through this. I don't know if it's just ear infection kind of stuff, just too much water in the ear, not cleaning your ears out well enough. It's been a real problem in April and May. Hasn't bothered me quite as much as June. Oh, that's right. I made this little from that rainy day. I guess that other one wasn't the rainy day. I think I messed up my dates there. That was the rainy day, and I put it from a different day. So this was the rainy day when I felt like literally like upside down. Rick was cool enough to get a couple shots of me from a third person angle there. But like around this time, I was like feeling all vertigo-y and weird. It's interesting to kind of surf through it though, because it kind of gets you out of your own head. It's not helping my form issues, obviously. I did get that one little off the lip. We got a little comment from Tate and Stalvey that noticed that I hit it. Just form-wise, it looked goofball as usual. But yeah, there's just too much ungainly movement in general. Yeah, in that reel, I did the violin soundtrack. That was from John Gilmore. Thanks, John, for the footage at the state park. And this was one of those mornings I went out Spyglass and was like, I was just going up for my paddle, and I realized, I can actually belly ride these. And then I stood up and Huntington hopped, and I was like, man, I'll go back and get the longboard. So this is the nice thing about having a quiver, and it's the nice thing about surfing at a home break again. This is where I grew up, like this little stretch of beach here. So it's a blessing to be able to drive back down the road 3 minutes, pick up a board, and then go back if the surf is not ideal for the other board. And, it was like ankle high, but I could ride waves. And, when I was younger, I would feel, I don't know, like a dork or guilty. Look how pretty that is, dude. Sunsets or sunrises are just great with this Emerald Coast water. I would almost feel guilty about surfing when it was that small. I don't know why, but it was just like felt uncool. I've finally just embraced how much I love it, just to be able to ride any kind of wave in any kind of fashion on any kind of device. This has been a very freeing thing for me, being able to do these morning paddles and surf reports, and partnered with Mr. Surfs, and he's having me do them even on days off, and I can just go out and do my paddle. So it's been a mutually beneficial thing for both of us. This is my gym, and I'm so thankful for it, y'all. I mean, I went to the gym for a long time, and it just wasn't for me. If you're training for specific purposes, there's no other place to do it. Like, the gym is it. But for surfing, I do think you can get away with never going to a gym. I think you can do all your training through surfing, and for me, skimming and skating. And I'm going to be adding another part to that eventually. This was Memorial Day, and me and Tate, Mike Mashburn, a handful of others, David Wilson, we got the west side of city to ourselves for a while there, and I started off on the east side, and there was actually, I found a little corner over there, got a little turn in, but it was mostly left and mostly trying to shoot the pier, and Mike was getting it. He shot the pier successfully. I actually dinged my board, ran right into the pylon with it, and I had a couple close calls. One funny thing from this day was, unfortunately, like, this was one of those days, there was just so many people on the beach, and the rip was actually bad. I mean, it wasn't big surf. That was like my best turn I think I've ever got on video. It wasn't actually big surf, but it was just windy, and the currents were bad. So they were keeping people out of the water, double red flag. And so the whistles were blowing all day long, keeping people out of the water. And then, so people were just like treating us like a spectator sport, standing on the pier. And one of the guys said, you started yelling at us, "Hey, shark, shark." And so Mike Mashburn looks up, it's like, "How big is it?" And the guy, like, uses his hands, and like, "Okay, thank you, sir." This was, of course, before the crazy shark scare of, I can't remember, everything's run together. I think that was in June, the crazy shark scare. But yeah, it's been a blessing adding the longboard to the regimen. Started doing some paddles with Roger Barnhart. The first day we did it, joined with Scotty. And that morning was unreal. It was unreal. The color of the sky, man. So we've had, in May, we had just incredible sunrises. And then in June, the watercolor was like this, but like this kind of more, like, it's almost like fake golf course, like, what do you call it? Fake, a goofy golf water that's in the waterfalls in a goofy golf course. Oh my gosh, just beautiful stuff, which you'll see in the June one. Anyway, thankful for surfing, skimming, and skating. Much work still to be done, and much work on this vlog to be done to get it to where I want it to be, so that it's not just a stream of consciousness. I am still looking for ways to modify it to bring it up to the Brad Poker vlog level of analysis, and instead of using poker hands, we'll use waves. Just broke my Android phone today. Actually going out for the surf this morning, and dropped it in just the perfect way. It has like the screen protector glass, and it landed right on the corner, even though it has the holder, defender thing. Hit right on the corner, broke it. So, needless to say, getting this surf report up this morning was a real pain. I had to rely on muscle memory to post to Instagram. But it's time to go back to Apple and get the Apple Watch, and take some time to utilize those tools to analyze surf waves and stuff, wave by wave. So, much work to be done still. Work in progress surf vlog, but May was a blast. Good surf, good skim, good skate, and more to come. Until next time, it's For the Surfing Violinist, reminding you to keep it consistent, even if the surf isn't. To see these videos early without ads, join the lineup here on YouTube. You just need a YouTube account, and for $1.99 a month, you click this little join button and sign up to get early and ad-free access to 4 monthly vlogs. the surf vlog, the violin vlog, the Masala vlog, and the family vlog. Thank you very much.